Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. And for this video, I'm gonna illustrate what is the psychoanalysis theory of Sigmund Freud. So, have you ever wondered why someone read, walk, run, steal, fight, and kills? So there is a history. Many have tried to answer the question, why do some criminals or some people commit crimes? So some people believe that criminals are generally born to be criminals. Others believe criminals are born because of uncontrolled, outside influence. So inherent, they are made to be criminals. Although there are those who believe criminals are born because of psychological problem or need, will be focused on the psychological theories of crime. So, psychoanalytic theory of crime by Sigmund Freud. So, Sigmund Freud, by the way, Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis, a clinical method for evaluating and treating pathologies in the psyche through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalyst. So, Freud was born to Galician Jewish parents in the Moravian town of Freiburg in the Austrian Empire. So, according to him, psychoanalytic theories of crime do not comfort for it himself, but the deduction of his general theory of human behavior. So, what is an example of Freud's psychoanalytic theory? So, Freud believed that events in our childhood have great influence in our adult life, so shaping our personality. So, for example, anxiety. So, anxiety originating from traumatic experience in a present, past, or present, past in hidden from consciousness and may cause problem during adulthood. So, in the form of neurosis that we call. And he believed though that criminal was a consequence of the problem were psychopaths. So what is psychopath? So psychopath is defined as a mental or antisocial disorder in which individual manifests amoral and antisocial behavior. So shows a lack of ability to love or establish meaningful person relationships, experience extreme egocentricity, and demonstrates a failure to learn from experience and others' behaviors associated. So, psychopath is characterized as people who had no guilt and inability to see what is right or wrong. There would be intelligent and charming, but there is unable to love and egocentrically. So since the crime was thought to be the result of a deep-seated problem, the solution was to provide psychotherapy or psychoanalysis. And psychotherapy is a component based on the medical model of crime causation that has influenced criminal justice policy over the past century. And the model was the criminals were biologically or psychologically inferior, although even with that its popularity. So there were many problems with Freudian theory. So several studies shows that criminals are not psychologically different from the rest of society. So, number two is, even if some who is disturbed psychologically does not mean the illness caused the crime. Many people with an illness of mind do not cause crime, and there are those who do not have mental illness do commit crime. So the jury does not consider outside, or the jury does not consider any outside circumstance where the crime has occurred. So, and number four, lastly, psychotherapy is frankly scientifically intestable. The emphasis of the therapy is to rehabilitate, and the individual offenders leaves out the offender in the environment in which animal behavior occurs. And many behaviors that are treated in psychotherapy are not criminal, and they're just problems seated deeply in the mind, and the absorption that the criminal behavior of those people are most likely wrong, that have any problem and also committed crimes. So those are my idea about psychoanalysis theory of Sigmund Freud. And I hope you understand my quick discussion about theory of Sigmund Freud. And that's all for today's video. And by the way, my name is Brenda E. Anyosa, and thank you so much for listening.